Hello. So, just want to talk about kind of the importance of making sure the work you do in life matters to you. Okay, so the reason why this is important and I'm talking about it in the first place is because any work you do in life, whether it's passion projects, whether it's painting, right? This is not limited to school or work. School or work is obviously a couple of them. But any kind of project you work towards has to matter in order to live a meaningful and fulfilling life, because it's connected to you and your strengths and talents, how you use them. And so I just want to talk about why you first have to think the work you do matters before you kind of worry about anything else, like making it better and stuff like that. So yeah, and I just want to go with first as an example of my brother. Okay, he doesn't really care about school. Okay, let's just say that he doesn't care about school, and the reason for that is because there is no kind of intrinsic drive, there is no kind of intrinsic value or purpose he has to school. So what I mean by that is that those who excel at school, they have a purpose, whether they realize it or not, whether they're very meaningful people or not, right? Whether they care about having values or not. They have often a purpose, usually it's identity related, attached to whatever they're doing. Oh gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this with these mosquitoes. Okay, so what I mean is, so if they want to be good at school, right? Someone like my cousin, for example, she really wants to get into law, right? And she consistently does good study habits, which makes her do really well in school performance, because law is directly related to her values and herself, right? She doesn't see school as just a thing she has to do. She sees this thing as an opportunity for her values, and for expanding herself and her opportunities. Like, she sees this as such a great opportunity, right? So this causes her to have really good study habits and to really pour her whole effort into it, right? And she just recently got accepted to a really good university. Very proud of her. Whereas like my brother, for example, he's like a little kid, you know. He's only like grade 10. So yeah, he's still learning a lot about himself, you know. But right now, he obviously, like all kids, because of their parents and because of kind of socially, it's more accepted, right? He wants to get better at school. But the thing is, he just is missing that kind of lack of intrinsic drive, right? There's no kind of purpose connected to what he's doing, purpose to himself, right? He doesn't see school as anything beneficial to himself, right? It doesn't help with his creativity. It doesn't, like, for example, if you were to value creativity, it doesn't help with creativity. It doesn't help with kind of the goals he wants to do in life, right? It just has nothing to do with him. So this kind of lack of intrinsic drive and intrinsic value causes him to not put his best effort in school. Because if you see school or any work you do as a chore, something you have to do instead of something you get to do, something that fuels you, okay, something that betters you, it tends to feel like a chore, and you won't put your best effort in it because you don't see the value of how it can help you, okay, in your mindset. So that's the reason, that's kind of the main difference there. And then yeah, so when you're doing any work, you want to ask yourself, am I extrinsically motivated or intrinsically motivated? So what intrinsically motivated means is you would do the thing even if it had no results, okay? Like, you would play the piano even if nobody praised you for it. There's no positive reinforcement, right? That's kind of external things, like people, accomplishments, rewards, medals, right? Those kind of things, they're all external. Oh god, I'm really fighting the mosquitoes. I need to finish my point. Mosquitoes, get out. Okay. So yeah, if you want to ask yourself, am I intrinsically motivated? Would I do the thing even if there's no reward, even if there's no clap, just because I simply enjoy doing the thing, right? The action of doing the thing makes me happy, right? Like, the action of me talking to a camera in nature makes me happy. The action of just going to nature, even without my parents telling me, even without my parents encouraging me to go outside, you know, it makes me happy. That is something I am intrinsically motivated to do, because in some sense it is related to kind of my identity and what is important to me in this world. So that is what I figured out. It's really important to figure out kind of what is important to you in this world and why. I think that can really make your work more meaningful, and like any work you do meaningful, any project you start meaningful, if you ask yourself what is important to me and why. Okay, because then you find things that are connected to you, right? Often wise, if you're not connected to the work you do, it's not connected to you. You know, it's not connected to your identity. It doesn't fuel you. It doesn't improve any part that you of yourself that you want to improve. You know, I need to finish my thought, mosquitoes. Okay, not right now. Okay. So yeah, that's that. And you want to ask yourself, are you intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated? This is also not necessarily bad, but the thing is, we either want to have a balance, or we want to have, in my opinion, I think we should all have a little more intrinsic than extrinsic. The extrinsic should like semi-motivate us, but intrinsic should be really strong. Okay, extrinsic motivation is when you are motivated extrinsically. You're motivated by kind of results, right? You're motivated by what the outcome, you're motivated by praise you can get, those kind of things. So you want to make sure that the work you're doing is intrinsically motivated. It is connected to you in some way. It is connected to your personality in some way. It is fueling a part or a trait of your personality in some way. And if you kind of struggle with doing your best work in whatever work you do, passion project, school work, whatever, or like job work, you want to make sure that you are more intrinsically motivated, that it is fueling some part of you, it is expanding some part of you that is really important. So that's why I really love journaling, and I've been doing it for 6 years now. It is because you can reflect on these kind of things, like what is important to me, you know, what are my values, what do I want to get out of in my projects, what am I hoping to get out of in projects, right? Because if I do a project and I'm hoping just to get rewards, right, and I don't get them, it's like, well, that's sad. Or if you're disappointed by the lack of work, like meaning or impact it made, you gotta ask yourself, like, was it more important for me to kind of do the thing, like whatever project it was, or is it more important for me to get the praise and attention? And could that mean I'm lacking, like, and is this an unmet need and that I could solve instead? And maybe that had nothing to do with the project itself. Maybe it's just simply an unmet need that I need to work on and I need to bring attention to. So yeah, so it's really important to be motivated by and really feel connected and really feel resonated with the activities you do in life. Most importantly, projects, passion projects, school work, anything that any action you do that you are putting effort into, it should have meaning and value to your life for those reasons. And it's really important to kind of reflect on, is this more intrinsically motivated or extrinsically, so that you can be intrinsic, but because naturally in today's society, like for example, if it's a job, you're gonna want extrinsic motivation, right? Like if I know Ali Abdullah, for example, like he is intrinsically motivated by these videos, right? He loves making these videos. Obviously it's not always easy, but he loves making these videos, and that's why he does them. He just loves, like, he just feels happy doing them, you know. And yeah, but he is obviously motivated by the views because this is his work, right? So it's okay to be extrinsically motivated, but just know how much of it is extrinsically motivated and also how much of it is intrinsically motivated. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Hope this helps, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Yeah, bye bye.